Hey guys, what's up? Today I'm going to show you guys my bullet journal setup and how I make them. Just a quick note before we start. My bullet journal is pretty simple compared to a lot of bullet journal out there. I don't decorate it too much or draw many things in it. So if you're expecting an artistic bullet journal from me, then prepare to be disappointed. So anyway, the bullet journal I'm using is by the brand Moleskine in the color purple or lavender. As you guys can see, the cover is empty. I prefer to keep it that way because it feels nicer to see when my book cover is plain and clean like this. Hence why I choose not to decorate it.
I can fix that.
Wait a minute. Bear, stop! What are you doing? No! Stop! No! Anyway, the pen that I use to write my bullet journal is this Zebra Sarasa Clip Gel Pen. I like it because it's thick yet doesn't bleed through the paper. For the pencil, I use any mechanical pencil that's lying near me. A lot of you guys have been asking me where I got these pink round pencils. I bought them at a random bookstore in Singapore, but I forgot what that place is called. Sorry. For coloring, I use these Faber-Castell coloring pencils. I also use a ruler to keep my drawings and lines straight. This video is not sponsored by Faber-Castell. I use a little bit of washi tapes from my monthly log and calendar pages, and I got them from IKEA, but I don't think they're sold there anymore. And the stickers I'm using are from a random knick-knack shop near my house. Okay, so now let's take a brief look inside my bullet journal. I'm supposed to fill in the first page with my profile, but since I always leave my bullet journal in my room anyway in fear of losing it in the first place, I don't feel the need to fill in this page, so I just keep it empty. So on the next two pages are my index. Here I write down the page numbers and the title of each page, so I can search for them easily later on when I need to. These are the symbols I use for my task. 10 points to your house if you guys know what anime this key is from. I bet you do. This page is where I keep track of my period. If you're a guy, then you don't need this page on your bullet journal. Well, next is the calendar. I mark some important dates like birthdays or special events here so I don't forget them on the D-Day. This is my monthly log. If there's an unfinished task that I want to postpone or move to the upcoming month, I'll put them here so I don't forget them when the month finally arrives. This is my New Year's resolutions list. I blur them out because I don't want people to know what my goals are before I can achieve them. These are the list of the piano songs I want to learn this year. I haven't got the time to play the piano lately though, so I've only managed to learn one song so far. Next is my to-read list, which is where I keep track on what I want to read, and my to-watch list where I put the movies or TV shows I want to watch or that my friends recommend me to watch. The list is still pretty empty though. Here is where I write down some ideas for my next YouTube videos, blurred out for spoilers. And next is my expense page where I keep track of my savings and spending, blurred out for the sake of my dignity. Next is my habit tracker. I wrote down the things that I want to get in the habit of doing, but as you guys can see, 90% of the boxes weren't filled in, which means I had to keep improving my habits for the upcoming months. Next to the habit tracker is my mood tracker. From this graph, we can see that I was overall pretty happy in January. Go away. Next are my mood booster pages, which I filled in with pictures of my otome boyfriends, and my favorite game, which is Fatal Frame 2.
Touch.
Don't touch! These pages are very useful for me because whenever I feel down, I can just look at these pages and I'll get cheered up after seeing these pictures of some of my favorite things. Next is my monthly task page. I write down the main things I want to accomplish on that month, and if I fail to get them done, I'll write them down on my monthly log, which I will later move to the next month's monthly task. Plah, tongue twister. And if I decide to cancel a task, I would just cross it out. Finally, we arrive at the daily task, which is the final section of my bullet journal. This is where I write down the things I want to get done on that day. I skipped a lot of days here since I was new to bullet journaling back then, so I would often forget to plan my days ahead of time. Also, I forgot to mention that I started my bullet journal in the middle of January, hence why everything you've seen started on the 13th day. I doodled the Mystic Messenger characters here because I was learning 707's theme song in January, and I couldn't get these guys out of my head at that time. So that was an overview of my bullet journal. Like I said, it's pretty plain and simple, and now I'm gonna show you guys how I plan things in April. First, I'm going to make the expense page. I begin by writing down the title. Nothing fancy, just a normal non-calligraphic handwriting with a little bit of accent on the first letter, and I like to draw a small dollar next to it. Next, I am going to draw the table. I use my ruler to keep the lines straight and even. I like to use pencil first just so I can erase any mistake I might make. I divide the table into 5 sections as you guys can see here. And after waiting for the gel pen to dry, I'm coloring the top of the table to make it look bright and fun. Next is the monthly task. This is pretty self-explanatory. I just write down the title and the task I want to accomplish this month underneath it. Yeah, it's pretty plain, nothing special here. Next, let's make the habit tracker. For this title, I like to make it a bit fancier by drawing a box around it and another one behind it. I pretty much use the same type of font for every title of the pages. While I wait for the gel pen to dry, I'm gonna start writing down the list of habits I want to get into for this month. This can be anything you want. The ones I write down here might seem pretty trivial, yet I still find them difficult to accomplish every day. Next, I'm gonna write down the dates and the days above the list. Now that the gel pen has dried up, it's time to color the boxes. Now let's move on to the mood tracker. It's pretty similar to the habit tracker. The only significant difference between them is that I put some mood stickers instead of habits on the left section of the page. I used 3 stickers, a happy one, a so-so one, and an unamused one. Finally, I'm gonna make the daily task. I write the title using the same font style like in the previous pages. And for each day, I write down the date and dates inside a box which is drawn in the same style like the one in the habit and mood tracker pages. And then underneath that, I write down the task I want to accomplish for that day. Here's how my daily task pages look like around 1 week later. So that is how I plan my bullet journal. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it and hopefully get some inspiration from it. If you are starting a bullet journal, then good luck. Don't give up if you happen to skip planning for days. Just keep on using it and don't feel pressured to make it look like an artwork. The point of having a bullet journal in the first place is so you can plan and keep track of things. So just remember that every time you feel like your bullet journal doesn't look cool enough like the ones you see online. Anyway, that's all from me today guys. Thank you very much for watching and have a nice day. Bye bye!